Just as Qiao and Hao was hesitating on whether or not she should knock on the door to retrieve her things, the tightly shut door swung open. A series of loud swishes resounded as her things were rudely tossed onto the ground. Before Qiao and Hao could react, the door slammed shut. Her bags weren't zipped, the contents spilling out, littering the entire floor. She stood stunned. After she managed to gather her senses, she knelt down and started filling the contents into her bag one by one. After packing, she took one last look at the tightly shut door. Pursing her lips tightly, she turned around silently, walking away with heavy steps. Lu Jinian returned to his room and, as he reached for the pack of cigarettes on the bedside table, he found a packet of fever medicine on the table. Qiao and Hao had bought in fever medicine. Lu Jinian's eyes dimmed. He took the medicine and dumped it in the trash bin before lighting up a cigarette. He walked towards the window, taking deep puffs. As the smoke entered his body, he started to relax. From the window, he could see the back view of Qiao and Hao leaving. His fingers trembled. He lifted the cigarette, taking another deep breath. He then left the smoke in his mouth for a while before blowing it out slowly. Clouded by the smoke, he could still see Qiao and Hao entering her car. After about half a minute, the car started and left. Lu Jinian waited till the car was out of sight before lifting his hand to take one last puff. He then extinguished the cigarette on the ashtray. He stood on the balcony for a while longer before turning to his room to retrieve his phone. Entering a number, he waited for connection, then said, "Leave the second female lead roll for Alluring Times empty, I have someone in mind. Also, clear my schedule, I want to act the second lead roll for Alluring Times. There is nothing wrong. After acting in the lead role for so long, the second lead would be a good change. Besides, I didn't intend to take up any more films. Okay, that's it for now. Just do as I say." Before giving the other person a chance to speak, Lu Jinian hung up the call. After his high fever, his body was yet to fully recover. He threw the phone on the bed before lying down in fatigue. Somehow, his eyes would subconsciously look towards the trash bin at the side. He stared at the bin for a long while before staggering to pick up the box of fever medicine inside. Lu Jinian stared at the box, a dim light flashing across his eyes.